Despite the microphone issues, we're going to continue to videotape this damn show because I do not like to have any tech issues, and when we do, we just go around it. Okay, so I'm going to be using this as a microphone, and you guys get used to it. Thank you. Just kidding. Hello, listeners, and welcome back to Jeremy Spreads It, the podcast where in season 2 we talk about LGBTQIA plus love, dating, and relationships. I'm your host, Jeremy Spreadums, and it's been a while since I last taped a show. I used to have a YouTube show that talked about sex for a while, and this was like going on before COVID, and then it actually continued a little bit during COVID, but then it just dissolved, and now I'm back just to talk a little bit more about LGBTQIA plus related topics. In this season, it is about dating, love, and relationships. Season 1 was just a random selection of topics that are relevant to the LGBTQIA plus community. If you're watching, thank you so much. I just wanted to keep up with the trends of how podcasts are being done nowadays, and I'm a one-man show and I produce this whole thing on my own, so this is the way that I'm catching up with the trends in the way that I can, because I do have a day job working for a health and wellness company that does support the ability to do this and buy the lights and get the microphones, the ones that don't work too, but it does help support all of these extra things that I do on the side on top of my day job. So today we're going to be talking about a topic that can transform a relationship from rocky and tumultuous to harmonious, peaceful, and healing. And I'm talking about emotional intelligence, aka EQ, or the emotional quotient. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions as well as the emotions of other people around you. It doesn't mean that you're trying to suppress your emotions all the time or trying to be like the perfect communicator 24/7, honey, because nobody is. What it means is that you're able to hone in on your emotions, recognize where they're coming from, and do the same for your partners so that you can both be able to communicate about them better. The term EQ gained popularity in the 90s thanks to a psychologist, Daniel Goleman, who broke it down into 5 different components that we're going to be covering today. But first, let me just say that in the gay community and queer community, having emotional intelligence is such an important thing, because in a world that still marginalizes us and doesn't understand that our love is as equal as everybody else's damn love, having EQ is something that will help you survive in your own relationships within the community, in the queer world. So let's dive into the 5 components of EQ. The first component of EQ is self-awareness. And self-awareness is the ability to recognize your own emotions and label them, determine what you're feeling. Are you feeling irritated? Are you feeling mad? Are you feeling joyful? Are you feeling anxious? And be able to manage them in such ways that they do not hijack your behavior in destructive ways or in ways that you have no control over, because a lot of our behavior is subconscious. So having self-awareness will be able to help you navigate and manage your emotions before they become something that you don't even recognize. Because feelings become thoughts, thoughts become behaviors, and behaviors become habits. So if you learn how to recognize certain patterns of your own behavior or certain emotions that you are experiencing and be able to manage them, you'll be able to better control your behaviors and in the end, control the habits that you live your everyday life by. And for LGBTQI plus community members, self-awareness is so crucial because so many of us have had to suppress who we are and suppress emotions to the point beyond recognition. And we have to dig those out of us in order for us to find out who the hell we are again. And sometimes these emotions are out in the open without our knowledge and without our awareness. So becoming self-aware is so important. A quick tip that I can provide in order for you to start becoming more self-aware of your own thoughts and feelings is to do daily check-ins with yourself, or keep an emotional journal or an emotional voice memo diary. And ask things like, what am I feeling? Where is this feeling coming from? And how are these feelings affecting my behaviors? Eventually you start to recognize that there are patterns in behaviors and in emotions, and recognizing these patterns is key to helping you navigate to become self-aware. of emotions. The next component of EQ is self-regulation. It's one thing to feel a strong emotion, and it's another thing to act on it with either intention or impulsively. And self-regulation means learning how to hit the pause button before emotions become your enemy and start hijacking your body and making you do some crazy things. For example, let's say that you made plans with your partner and your partner cancels last minute. Now, instead of blowing up on your partner and going off in a passive aggressive rant, what you can do is you can stop. You can just think about it for a moment. Name and pinpoint the feeling that you are having. Are you feeling irritated? Are you feeling disappointed? Are you feeling like you want to claw their eyes out? No, I'm just kidding. But what are you feeling? Then calmly express it with an I statement to your partner. For example, I felt really frustrated when the plans were canceled last minute. Can we just talk about this? This allows you to self-regulate the emotion that you were having and be able to deliver what you're feeling to your partner in a way that won't be such an attack on them. I know that canceling last minute is crazy, and man, I've done it to some people and some people have done it to me, and I don't like it. I'm sure they didn't like it either, but self-regulating just means naming an emotion that you are feeling, literally looking at the emotion, stopping yourself, and deciding on how to behave based on the circumstances. And sometimes it is, I guess, sometimes it situations constitute to act like a total cunt to people, but not always. And when you're learning how to self-regulate, it just means that you're learning how to hit the pause button before an emotion takes over your whole body. The next component of EQ is motivation, and this has to do with how motivated you are to stay connected emotionally to someone or something. Emotionally intelligent individuals stay focused on long-term goals, like building safe and trusting relationships, instead of trying to win an argument all the time or trying to prove a point to their partner consistently. So staying motivated emotionally, it does require a little bit of self-discipline in order for you to stay involved and stay engaged and stay connected with your partner or whoever it is that you're having a relationship on a deeper emotional level. And a person with a high emotional EQ and who is wanting to stay motivated in their relationship would say something like, in the event that a partner and yourself are not having enough quality time together or haven't been spending a lot of time doing things together, you would say something like, you know what, I miss our quality time together. Can we plan a couple of date nights, in the next few weeks, and then commit and do it. Somebody who loves you, or if you love somebody and you truly want to develop a deeper emotional relationship with them, motivation is going to be the key factor of why you stay doing what you're doing. Alrighty, so the next component of EQ is empathy. And empathy is the ability to feel with your partner or feel with somebody. It's very different than sympathy. Sympathy is simply feeling sorry for somebody, but you're not feeling what the person is feeling. You're not truly putting yourself in their shoes. Sympathy is a very important component of emotional intelligence because it allows you to connect with your partner or somebody who you're speaking with or connecting with on a much emotionally connected level. Because empathy is about understanding somebody's perspective, even when it's not your own. And it does require you or anybody to step outside of their own perspective and own ego in order for them to be open enough to allow somebody else's perspective touch them, and not sexually. Touch them theoretically, touch them philosophically, and hopefully sexually in the long term. You never know. It's important to know that empathy builds emotional intimacy. When you're showing empathy, it is showing another person, I am here, I'm connected, and I care for you. Empathy requires that you feel for somebody. And it doesn't mean that you're going to try and fix everything that they bring your way. Because if somebody's opening up to you emotionally and on a deeper level, many times they just want a listening ear. And they're not asking for their problems to be fixed. So if your partner comes to you and is telling you something deep and emotional, it's best to just listen to them and not try and fix their problems all the time. Unless if they're asking you for the advice of, like, how do I fix this problem? But a lot of times, empathy requires for us to listen, feel, and not fix. And the last component of EQ is social skills. So this is where communication comes into the EQ formula. Social skills requires you to be aware of your emotions, recognize how to hit the pause button, be motivated enough to stay connected with the person, be able to feel for them and feel with them. And now it's up to you to communicate all of these emotions, as wonderful as they sound, and in a way that the world can understand you and that your partner can understand you. So that means communicating your emotions verbally, non-verbally, and sexually. Why do I always say that? You guys know why I always say that, so don't even start. Ultimately, it is up to you to navigate conflict, express your feelings, and stay connected with your partners. There's been a lot of relationships that I have ruined myself because I failed to recognize that my emotions were taking over my behaviors, and that I had no pause button, and that I had no empathy for others. Not when I was younger. I used to be a little cunt. So I would suggest that no matter what age you are in the queer community or beyond, developing a high EQ will probably save your life and make your mental health a little bit more stable, because you'll be able to recognize your own emotions, be able to feel the emotions for others. And the last and hardest part is for you to learn how to communicate that with other people, because that was one of my hardest lessons to learn too. I used to just bottle things up all the time because I wanted to keep the peace all the time. I would never tell people how I was feeling because I felt like that was going to cause an argument. And in the times that I would express how I would feel, it would turn into an argument. So looking back, it wasn't just me. It was the partners that I was with as well. But we weren't equipped to know how to stop ourselves, talk about our emotions, develop better communication habits, and grow our relationship stronger, as opposed to ripping it apart at the seams. So I hope that this episode is going to help you develop a stronger EQ in the community, because being a fierce queer warrior is so lovely to see. I love it when people are feeling themselves, know who they are able to manage their own emotions and be on top of their shit, especially with Pride Month coming up, bitch. I'm so excited. I'm sure you guys are too. Every time June comes around, my body knows it. Not just because it's my birthday month, but because Pride Month is here, and I think my whole goes from this to like this in like a matter of 24 hours. As soon as May 31st is done, June 1st is here, and the whole is like... I did want to just say one thing about the communication aspect of emotional intelligence. It's good to know your own as well as your partner's communication style. I did talk about this in a previous episode as far as like being direct or indirect in receiving and giving messages. So try and figure out, are you a direct communicator? Is your partner a direct communicator? Are they indirect? Are you indirect? And see how you guys can speak to each other in ways that won't build conflict and will build more harmony and hopefully more sexual encounters between you two, because that is just so lovely to hear and see. And I do see. And you don't need to work on EQ alone. If you are already with a partner, or if you have a bestie who you both want to help build each other up, doing it with somebody is going to be so much more easier and so much more interactive and so much more fun. And don't be afraid to mess it up, because messing up is all part of getting to a better place and to getting to a successful stage in no matter what aspect of your life you are trying to improve. So with that being said, emotional intelligence is a superpower in every thriving queer relationship, whether it is with a romantic partner, sexual partner, a friend, a sister, a brother, your mother. Emotional intelligence is going to help build your life and your relationships to a better, more wonderful place. Amen. So, wherever you are in your emotional journey or in the journey of discovering who you are, your feelings are valid and your growth is beautiful and your queer heart is worthy of love to meet you exactly where you are. Okay? So, until next time, stay beautiful, stay listening, and stay watching, because I'm going to be recording more of these. This was actually so much fun to do. Expect more. And happy Pride, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Jeremy Spenums, and I will see you next time. Bye, Felicia. I've taken too much of a break with recording because I've been making a lot of mistakes, bitch. Just kidding. I'm just having way too much fun with this. You know why? I'm no longer camera shy by this point. I thought I was gonna fuck it up, and I did. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. Let's go to the next segment.